Welcome again to Art with Alex and Maia. Join us as we break free from the conventions of time and place and travel to Peru, a ride that's as colorful as the museums and murals we'll explore, as flavorful as the food we'll savor, and as awe-inspiring as the ancient wonder of Machu Picchu itself. A vibrant country full of artists, storytellers, and kindred spirits will take you on a journey that's not just about seeing, but about feeling. Not just about learning, but about being inspired. It's a journey as seen through the eyes of an artist, where every corner seems like a work of art, and the culture a palette of inspiration. Where the boundaries between travel and art blur, and the heartbeat of Peru becomes our own. With its rich Inca heritage, bustling streets, and hidden artistic gems, it was more than a destination. It was our muse. Lima is full of murals, sculptures, and street art. Nowhere is this more prevalent than in the very hip, cool, and artistic neighborhood of Barranco. As we drove up, we are greeted by an award-winning structure which houses Lima's University of Engineering and Technology. The building is massive, and it was inspired by 1950s brutalist style architecture, yet it maintains the roots of the Inca culture by mimicking with its balconies the shape of the andenes found in Machu Picchu.
This sculpture by artist Eotase really caught my eyes, particularly because it's made entirely out of cardboard. So did this painted streetcar.
Adding to its bohemian feel, Barranco is full of little restaurants, bars, and cafes, nestled within the beautiful colonial and Republican-styled buildings called casonas. There are also plenty of boutique hotels with a South Beach vibe, each one with beautifully displayed art and decorations. You can then make your way to Lima's Museum of Contemporary Art, which happened to be featuring an exhibit called Color, an exhibition that addresses color as a constantly changing and evolving physical, technological, cultural, and psychological phenomenon. It starts with the studies of Isaac Newton and his color wheel, goes through the current applications of color in science, explores the cartographies of the wide chromatic ranges, and it even considers how these affect our psychology and our emotions. As we leave the MAC and continue exploring the town, we have tons of fun admiring all the colorful murals and art galleries that seem to be everywhere.
We are at the Puente de los Suspiros, in English, which means the Bridge of Whispers.
El Puente de los Suspiros is a place where legend says one can breathe in the fresh, salty air from the ocean, together with a partner, in hopes of having eternal love. This bridge was the inspiration behind one of Peru's most beloved songs, La Flor de la Canela, Cinnamon Flower in English, written by musical great Chabuca Granda in 1950. The song perfectly reflects the bohemian character of the Barranco district, where the young artist was living at the time. She was later honored by erecting her statue and placing it on a park named after her, right next to the bridge.
As we keep walking, we bump into a fence full of small locks. Each lock has a name or names, a tradition that believes as you write those names on the lock, locking them to the fence will lock up the love and make it eternal. So many dreams, so much hope in love. It made us wonder how all these people are doing. Of course, we bought a couple of small ones and quickly wrote our names on them to follow this beautiful tradition.
Moving on to the neighborhood of Miraflores, we discovered El Parque del Amor, Lima's love park was built to celebrate love in all its forms. This is most clearly represented by the park's central sculpture, El Beso, the Kiss. Created by Peruvian artist Victor Delfin, El Beso shows a man and a woman wrapped in each other's arms, locked in a passionate kiss. The park reminded me a lot of Gaudi's Arqueguel in Barcelona. Its undulating walls and colorful mosaics pay a beautiful homage to the legendary Spanish park. The next day, we took a plane to the city of Cusco. The view as we're getting ready to land is stunning, as the city lies at over 11,000 feet above sea level. This will be our first stop on our way to Machu Picchu. We are then treated to a fascinating demonstration on weaving. These ladies create beautiful mantas or illiclas, which are women's carrying shawls, ponchos, chullos, which are knitted hats, and chuspas, which is a traditional bag. They explained to us that each village has its own patterns, unique weaving techniques, and styles of clothing which indicate indigenous identity and the wearer's community. It's incredible to see how they even create different colors from organic sources such as corn, seeds, and even particular insects. The attention to detail is impeccable, and in the end, this enchanting and elaborate process yields these charming results.
This was also when I had my first encounter with a llama. Ugh! That was spit on my forehead. Only to find I had a better bond with the alpacas.
Slowly but surely, we make our way to the tiny town of Ollantaytambo, whose only coffee shop took the Starbucks mermaid logo and made it into an Inca princess.
Now that's creative.
But as a prelude to Machu Picchu, the town holds the ruins of a massive Inca fortress with large stone terraces on a hillside. The fortress includes a huge sun temple and the princess bath fountain. We also found this great art gallery in town and got to chat with the artist Jose Alice. Born and raised in the town, he works mainly with oils on canvas and paper. He told me he has been painting since he was 10 years old. Magnificent work. I ended up buying a few small paintings to give as gifts when I get back home.
Why does my chest hurt so much? It like hurts. Oh God, it's like I can't breathe.
When you are in very high altitudes, your air is thinner, which may lead to altitude sickness or known as soroche. Luckily, chewing on some coca leaves helps alleviate it. We need to hurry back to the train station, so we take these really cool moto taxis. They are everywhere, and the owners pimp them up in many different cool ways.
Daddy, hurry up! We're gonna miss the train! So far, we have been on a plane, so many taxis, a bus, another plane, and little mini motor taxis. And now we are on a train, taking our way to Machu Picchu. Right now, it's like a beautiful ecosystem of the mountains, which is gonna be so pretty. We'll see you on Machu Picchu. Now we are going to Machu Picchu. See you at Machu Picchu.
We finally arrived to the town of Aguascalientes, a beautiful little town where we will catch the bus up to Machu Picchu. As excitement fills our veins, we are greeted by our guide Gilberto, who is more than eager to start showing us around.
Amigos, bienvenidos a Machu Picchu, tienen un bonito día, para que se recarguen de energía.
We start with the lower structures, and as Gilberto shows us more and more, I feel my heart starting to beat faster. Is it the altitude, or is it the emotions that I'm feeling? As the cool mountain breeze brushes my face, I walk up the stony path, wondering how I will react to something that I have been seeing in photographs since I was a little kid and only dreamt of seeing in person.
We're almost there.
Oh, Maya, we made it to the top, the city of on the clouds.
I'm so excited. Like, we're actually here on the top.
Yes, there are no words to describe what this is and what it represents.
It's
absolutely
beautiful.
Stunning. Incredible that the Incas were able to build this.
And it's able they live in this. It's literally super high, and it's really hard to breathe up here, and you get tired so quickly.
Yes, and you can see here, that's the main city there.
And right on the top is like another little place, like a neighborhood kind of.
Huayna Picchu, yes, like a neighborhood. So the guide was telling us that most of the people who lived in Machu Picchu was mostly scholars, religious, like shamans and priests. There were also astronomers who dabbled in astronomy.
And Inca Einsteins.
Inca Einsteins. There were artists, and also there were the agricultural class, which is the ones that planted all the food that they would eat up here. Amazing.
Amazing, hard to breathe, tired, but amazing.
Breathtaking. All right.
Legend says that Incas living here thought that the peak looked like a side view of a laying down Inca with the brow, nose, and mouth. What do you think? Next, we explore the famous Andenes, where they managed to plant and harvest crops in such a steep terrain. Another marvel is their ability to prevent flooding through a very sophisticated system of irrigation that was not only functional, but decorative as well, by incorporating beautiful fountains and waterfalls. Machu Picchu was built on a quarry, where you can still see some remnants of these enormous boulders, immediately begging the question, how did they break them to create the building blocks? Not having metal or iron like the modern European, they inserted wood between the cracks and got it wet, making the wood expand, creating a wedge that cracked the stone further, allowing them to break it into smaller pieces. As we keep exploring, Gilberto guides our attention to a marvelous structure. This is the Temple of the Three Windows. Legend speaks of Tamputok, which represents the foundation of the Inca Empire. Each window would symbolize an Ayar brother or the three tribes who gave mythologically origin to the Incas. Another possibility is the representation of the three Inca realms Uku, Kai, and Hana Pacha on each of the 3 steps carved on stones. What was also very interesting is that within the city structures, there are different styles of architecture.
The Incas would bring workers from different societies around Peru, and each society had a different type of architecture working with stone. So you find here up to 20 different architectural styles.
These curious round holes are called water mirrors. It was believed that many astronomers lived in Machu Picchu. They would fill the holes with water and observe the images of the stars and constellations in the water. Way up here is the Intihuatana stone, which is believed to have been some sort of sundial or astronomical clock. The area is sealed off because it was damaged by a crew while filming a commercial. As we start walking down, a feeling of melancholy runs through me. Similar to a feeling of sorrow, like when you have to say goodbye to an old friend. My body starts winding down the road, yet I feel my mind and maybe part of my soul staying in that magical place. So many questions, wondering how it was to live up there, having so little, yet being owners of so much. The energy within Machu Picchu is undeniable and highly contagious. And as an artist, the level of inspiration this place gave me was extraordinary. But we move on. Another bus, another train, more magic. Can't wait to see what Peru holds next for us. Back in Cusco, the Spanish colonial architecture is the prevalent style of the city. Along with beautiful cathedrals, the interiors of hotels, government buildings, and restaurants are stunning. Everything looks like a mini museum. Speaking of museums, we paid a visit to the Choco Museum. Did you know that 60% of the world's cacao production comes from Peru's Amazon basin? There, they cultivate 3 different cacao bean types, the Creole, Trinitario, and Forastero, which range from the most aromatic to the most bitter. In Peru, the Incas grew cacao and transformed Peruvian chocolate into an infusion considered medicinal and ritualistic. As we keep walking down the small cobblestone streets, we bump into the Inca Museum. It's no secret that Incas were tremendous artists, producing some of the finest works ever crafted in the ancient Americas. They loved pottery, yet it was the work in textiles which was considered the most prestigious of art forms by the Incas themselves. Many of these Inca stories were beautifully illustrated by Pedro de Cieza de León, who spent years traveling the country producing his Chronicles of Peru in the 1500s. An incredible surprise at the museum was the demonstration by José Vitancio, an expert in Inca wind instruments. In a mind-blowing presentation, José showed us how by using only the flow of water, these incredible ancient Inca whistling vessels, known as huascos, mimic various animal calls. These ancient ceramic whistling bottles have been dated as far back as 500 years before Christ. Take a listen.
El agua me hace en el agua. Es como la...
The final stop was San Pedro Market, where you can find all types of edible products, including fruits, corn, cocoa, peppers, quinoa, kiwicha, maca, and much more. They also have an enormous meat section. All this in an indoor structure of which the original building was designed back in 1925 by Gustav Eiffel. Yes, the architect behind the Eiffel Tower. Now we hop on the plane back to Lima.
The food. Picked as the top culinary destination in the world, Peruvian food is a celebration of flavors and traditions. The Inca heritage is deeply embedded in traditional dishes, while the Asian influence brings a unique twist to the flavors. It's a culinary dance that's both familiar and extraordinary. One thing you can't miss is the incredible seafood. Peru's long coastline blesses the country with an abundance of fresh catches daily. Save room for dessert, as Peruvian sweets are an absolute delight.
As we spend our last moments in Peru, I reflect on our experience. As an artist, this journey was nothing short of a revelation. The colors, the landscapes, the food, and the culture intertwined to create a tapestry of inspiration that forever altered my creative perspective. I remembered the ladies working on textiles, hand-woven with such care and dedication, their patterns echoing the ancient stories of Peru's rich history. It was impossible not to be moved by the intricate beauty of each piece. The variety of murals, sculptures, and museums in Lima, each one a window to the soul of an artist who loves their country. Our visit to Machu Picchu was the pinnacle of my journey. The ancient city, nestled among the clouds, was like a masterpiece frozen in time. It was as if the spirits of the Incas themselves whispered their secrets, urging me to capture the essence of their civilization on my canvas. Food that stimulated all of our senses, prepared by nothing short of culinary artists. A place where it seemed that we would find magic on every corner, where natural beauty blends with that made by humans. An experience that enriched both the young and the old. And as we arrive home, we can only ponder where adventure will lead us next.